The Queen is down. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my thoughts and impressions regarding the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS, episode 104, Declaring a Crime. And I gotta be honest with you guys, when this episode was first announced and we got the preview, it was hype. Going into this episode, it was hype. We did get some questions answered, but when it came to the duel between I and Queen, it fell short in my opinion, I won't lie. I'm a little bit disappointed in the duel, but overall the episode was still really good. We got some loose ends from Season 2 tied up, and so yeah, we got some questions answered as well. So the episode was a mixed bag in my opinion. What more can I say? And with that being said, and at risk of further rambling, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins with Ai's decision, and we actually hear his and Robapi's human voices for the first time. And before I go any further, I just want to say Robapi as a human reminds me so much of Sora from Arc 5. When I first saw his human design, you know, you're like, that's a cut and paste of Sora. Well, now hearing Robapi's human voice and the demeanor and everything else, it is exactly a cut and paste to Sora. It is creepy and scary how much alike these two are. And so, yeah, hearing that, it was just like deja vu all over again. I liked Sora in Arc 5. Robapi, liked Robapi in VRAINS. I'm not sure if I can go through and look at this and be like, that is not Sora. But with all of that being said, though, Robapi's still the adorable, lovable little robot, even as a human here. And so, yeah, we hear Ai's decision and his and Robapi's human voices for the first time before going back to the hot dog truck with Kusanagi and Yusaku. And we learn that Jin has recovered. And not only that, something has happened. When Jin regained consciousness, his memories of the lost incident were gone, just completely wiped. And Yusaku goes back to thinking, well, when Lightning cheated Revolver, he used some of Jin's consciousness to create extra life to save him. And that extra life, in most probability, was the memories of the lost incident. So Lightning's crime was actually a blessing in disguise for Jin, because now the memories of the lost incident are completely gone. He never has to worry about them anymore. It's a new life, as Kusanagi puts it. We then go on to Soul Tech, and we learn two big things here at Soul Tech. We learned that Zaizen has been promoted. He is now Executive Chief Zaizen, second in command of Soul Tech. And this promotion was done because of his actions during the incident with Bowman and how he saved Link VRAINS. We also learned that now Link VRAINS is gone. Link VRAINS is closed, so now these droid-human hybrids here, these AI human hybrids, are what Soul is banking on. So Link VRAINS is gone. So yeah, with Link VRAINS being closed, or gone rather, this is what Soul's banking on. But we do know, based on the preview, that that does not mean the duels are going to all take place in the real world, which is unfortunate, because that's something that I've been wanting from VRAINS, because we see everybody assemble in VRAINS. I think it's just close to the general public, so the heroes can still get in and they can still duel in VRAINS, but the general public, it's off limits now, which is probably for the best, because VRAINS has not had the best track record. So with that being said, we then transfer over to Yamamoto and his cameraman, Frog and Pigeon here. And we learned that Bowman actually put the footage of the continuation of the duel after they were absorbed by the data storm. Bowman gave them footage of the entire duel, mostly so that people would remember Bowman and everything that happened. There was a record here. So Bowman gave Yamamoto and his cameraman everything they need to finally get their promotion. And this was where things kind of got a little funny. The little tadpole thing on top of Yamamoto's head turns out to actually be their bureau chief. Well, when they start talking about how they were going to be the new bureau chiefs, they were going to push their boss out of the job, their boss comes out and said, I don't think so, no bonus for you, breaks their hearts, and we finally learn Pigeon's name. His name is Saito, so it's always been Saito and Yamamoto. So yeah, anybody that's a fan of Frog and Pigeon, you now know what Pigeon's real name is. It is Saito. So anyway, with all of that being said, everybody knows what exactly happened with Bowman and that. We then go on to Soul's Cruise, which is a big cruise line, and basically this is showing off their new product here, showing what it can do. Soul is getting more orders than they can fill, but this is just basically cementing it. It's a publicity cruise. That's what this is essentially. And yeah, Queen is actually heading this up, and she's actually saying that this is going to prove that this is the future. This is what's going to make our company a lot of money. So with all that being said, we finally see I and Robopi infiltrate this cruise, and they do so by I actually hacking into two of these AI human hybrid things, and they actually steal them, and they're walking around as these AI human hybrids that Soul created. And as they're walking around, they stumble into a casino here, and we actually get a little bit of a sideshow. Gambling with I and Robopi. Robopi is so excited because now Robopi is not only smart, Robopi has free will, an effective I's backup, and Robopi is essentially going to follow I and be I's partner in this whole thing. And we actually see Robopi decide with curiosity, free will's getting the better of Robopi. Robopi actually goes over to the slot machine and actually tries Robopi's. And this is the thing about Robopi and the thing about Sora, like I said earlier. I cannot get straight whether Robopi is a boy or a girl at this point. So yeah, Robopi just goes up to the slot machine, cheats it, and it starts pouring out money. Like, simple, And I's like, no, that's cheating. But if you're going to cheat spectacularly. And I actually hacks all of the machines down the row and makes them all land on jackpot, so they're all throwing money out. So I's pretty much showing off. He's like, if you're going to cheat spectacularly like this. And now money's shooting out. Robopi's impressed by this. And so, yeah, I and Robopi continue the search for Queen, and they actually manage to find her suite, and they break in, and I confronts Queen. And Queen is like, well, who are you? And he says, my name is I. And Queen's like, I. And I is just like, well, let me rephrase this. You might know me better as the Dark Ignis. And Queen is like, the Dark Ignis, what are you doing here? I thought you vanished. And I basically says that he wants to use soul technology to assist him, and that since Queen is the head of management, he needs her codes, he needs her memory to make that happen. So it's confirmed that I is going to use soul tech in whatever plan he is forming here. But Queen is not about to let that happen. And then I goes on to another point. He flat out tells Queen that this is revenge for Earth, the Earth Ignis. And Queen is just kind of playing stupid, and I's like, you cut him into pieces, so we're gonna duel because it would be unsportsmanlike to take you under these circumstances. And so I actually transports him and Queen to this virtual network that he created so that they would not be interfered with. And this is where the episode became a little bit disappointing. We go into the scene cut here, and we're back into the second half of the episode, and the duel is already started. We learn that Queen is dueling with a Allura Queen deck, and she's actually got a combo out with Allura Queen. It's got 5,000 attack points, and basically she's forced I into a point where he can only attack her strongest monster, which has 5,000 attack points, and I has no field here. So yeah, we did not get to see Queen's entire first turn at all, and this is kind of what's bugging me. She is the big bad of Soul Tech, and we can't even get a full duel between her and I. But yeah, I'm going to be ranting about that for most of the review, so bear with me. So anyway, we now see I take his move, and we see his new deck. His new deck is called the At Ignister deck, and we actually see him link summon a Link 1 Lingaribo, and this is actually interesting because the speculation was when I began his dueling as a human, we thought that he was going to have pretty much a copy of Playmaker's deck, but that turns out not to be the case. I is dueling as his own person here. He's got a new deck, a new archetype. About the only thing he's sharing similarly with Playmaker is that he's using a dual disc with real cards. He's not using the artificial dual disc of Soul Tech. So yeah, that's essentially the only similarity, which I'm really happy about. They're making I his own person here. Anyway, Link 1 Lingaribo, and then we see I's new ace monster. The monster in the opening that looked like a copy of Decode Talker. We learned that this is Link 3 Dark Templar Ignister. Automatically my favorite monster in Vrain so far, other than Firewall Dragon, because Firewall Dragon is always going to be my favorite, but this is a close second. And no, it's not just because this is a Templar monster and my handle is Templar74, although that's a big reason behind it. I've always been a fan of the Dark Knight genre, and so seeing this just made my day, and it made the duel just a little bit better in my opinion. So anyway, we see that Link summon, then I does something Again, I does something that kind of takes you back to Arc 5 for a minute here. He pulls a Reggie here. He brings out a Synchro level 7 Winged Pegasus Ignister and a continuous summon. Then he brings out a Xyz summon rank 4 Light Dragon Ignister. And so, yeah, he's basically copying Reggie at this point. He brings out all the different summoning methods here, and he wipes Queen's field clean. However, Queen cheats before she's defeated. She uses her skill, Honey Trap, to regain life equal to what she lost and set a card that's not in her deck, a trap card, and that card she picks is Drowning Mere Force. So basically, if I attacks, all of his monsters are going to be returned to the deck, and I basically says, you're using a skill during a master duel, and Queen says, well, I'm in charge, I make the rules, I can't lose to you. However, I, undeterred, continues. He actually uses his Wind Pegasus' effect to go away. He basically banishes that card, and that trap card goes away. So now Queen's field is empty again. She has no monsters on the field. I attacks her and defeats her, knocks her life points down to 0, and does something else to her. I don't know if they've gone as far as taking her consciousness or not, because it's not really said. All we know is that we go back to Zyzen, and he gets a phone call saying, come out to the cruise ship at once. And he comes, and we learn that Queen is in critical condition. She had been helicoptered off the ship, and she is unconscious at this point, as the captain takes Zyzen into this room and says the attacker that did this to Queen left a credit, left his signature here. He took responsibility for it. And we see the look on Zyzen's face, and I think it's when Zyzen realizes the Dark Ignis, and that's where the episode leaves off, although we don't know for sure whether that's what that confession says. So anyway, with that being said, that was the episode. Like I said, the episode overall was pretty good. The duel left a lot to be desired, in my opinion. I'm really bummed that we didn't see more Queen's dueling like I thought we were going to. But with all of that being said, with all of that said and done, I give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, I can't give it any higher because although, yes, we got some plot lines wrapped up, the duel, I just can't give up the duel thing here. Dueling is what is Vrains, and we got next to nothing. We got a short duel between I and Queen, and we didn't even get to see half of the duel. We didn't get to see Queen's strategies, and that's just something that I can't overlook. So anyway, with all of that being said, those were my thoughts on the episode. But as always, in the comments section down below, let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just at there? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Robopi being Sora 2.0? What are your thoughts on I copying Reggie from Arc 5? Just what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the Queen versus I duel? Do you think it left a lot to be desired? Just what are your thoughts about all this in general? Because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Leave them in the comments down below. All right, everyone. As always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody. Hey everyone, Templar74 here. Did you enjoy the video? Do you want to help support me in making more content like this and see your name here at the end of every video? Then consider supporting me on Patreon. Any help is greatly appreciated and will help ensure continuation and increase the quality of production of the videos that I'm able to make for all of you. Link down below. Again, thank you so much for your support and for liking and subscribing. You all are amazing. And as always, everyone, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.